My name is Madison Kuntz, and I'm going to be teaching a lesson about how to teach to a diverse class. So before we start, I'd like you to take a moment and think of a time where you saw racism in your school.
Okay.
And you have an event, like something that happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so now think of how that made everyone involved feel.
Everyone felt very uncomfortable.
All right, so the United States is becoming more ethnically and racially diverse, so teachers need to be aware of cultural differences in their communities. New techniques to motivate students to think about concepts such as racism, social justice, inequality, and discrimination include a shifting curriculum for diverse student bodies. Christopher Emden wrote, "For white folks who teach in the hood, and the rest of y'all too, he did not like school growing up, and he co-founded an initiative with the rapper GZA in 2012 to use hip-hop to teach science. He integrated urban culture with learning by using music and rhymes in his teaching. The use of hip-hop has motivated students to want to come to school and to focus more rather than just coming to school and not paying attention. And then teachers are still predominantly white while students are growing in diversity, which is not an issue that can be immediately fixed, but it can be helped through a new curriculum. So I want you to think about your school again. Have you seen a growing diversity in students, yet not in teachers?
Kind of.
And do you think this affects learning?
Not really in our school.
Do you think it would help, though, if everyone saw someone who was like them, either the same background, ethnicity, or race in a teaching or administrative position?
Definitely.
Do you think a new curriculum could help?
Yeah.
So a new curriculum, if used, should be relevant to the students. Some things that have been done are teachers have students study graffiti or rap lyrics in place for a literature lesson. They look at issues of conformity in other countries, and they study things that students deal with on a daily basis. They could exchange classic texts with more modern books or stories that kids could easily relate to. Would you like to see a new type of curriculum in your school to help accommodate the diverse students?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and try this on our own. So many teachers have been trying to have students study texts that would not be traditional, including graffiti, rap, and song lyrics, and even social media posts. So I found these images of graffiti that we're going to examine and then compare it to some rap lyrics. So I want you to look at these and think about how they make you feel and what the meaning behind the words are. So go ahead and write down your feelings about these pieces of graffiti. Okay, so now I'm going to have you read this excerpt of the song Wednesday Morning by Macklemore.
Humanity is a privilege we can't give in. When they build walls, we build bridges. This is resistance, we're resilient. When they spread hate, we shine brilliant. March by the millions till they hear the children. We found ourselves at a distance. Open up the jails and the overcrowded cells. When we oppress anyone, we oppress ourselves.
So go ahead and write down your emotions about that song. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the graffiti pieces and let's talk about what you wrote. So what did you write here?
Fighting for peace and equality.
Okay, so let's talk specifically about this one. So this one says stop wars in the middle. Do you think is a deeper meaning behind that or no?
Probably. There's probably more of again, not wars, but like in neighborhoods, fights, and just...
So not just like between countries.
Not just physical wars, but also like oppression and racism and...
Good job. Okay, so now this one that says crime and art. What do you think when you see that?
I think that one's more targeted against like corruption and law enforcement.
Okay. So they're both very expressive, right?
Yeah.
and how they're written. Okay, so now let's go back to the song. What are your emotions that you wrote down there?
I wrote fight against oppression.
Okay, so now let's talk about these connections. So they're both very similar, right? In
Yes.
your feelings. So do you think that one has a better audience? It reaches a better audience than the other?
The rap lyrics probably are seen by more people, make giving them more of an impact.
Okay. Do you think that everyone who sees the art versus hears the rap are affected equally? So without the amount of people that see them, which do you think is more influenced?
Rap is probably influencing people more. It's more just like written out for you. You don't have to like look at it and think, what does this mean? It kind of just tells you.
Okay. So do you think that looking at the graffiti and the song lyrics, do you think that counts as studying a type of literature?
Definitely.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
And do you think it was effective? Did you learn something, or could this teach you something?
Yeah.
Okay, so a changing curriculum can be very beneficial to every classroom, especially with a growing diversity in our country. Teachers need to be able to come up with new ways to teach so that students will be involved and engaged, which was shown in our little lesson about the graffiti and the rap song.